Camilla commissioned the cameras. Camilla arranged the access. Camilla arrived at the palace gates ready to direct her own grand documentary, and the gates stayed shut. Not for an hour, not by accident. They stayed shut on the authority of the people who actually hold the keys. And while all of that was unraveling for one woman, another, quietly, stepped into the exact place that had just slipped out of reach. That woman was Catherine. If you love watching how real, lasting power works in this family, the kind that never needs a press release, then settle in with us, because that's the whole reason this channel exists. Start with the ambition, because you have to understand the scale of what was attempted to feel how completely it failed. The plan, dressed up as a warm look at the Queen's charitable work, was something much bigger. Production crews were to be led into the most guarded corners of the monarchy, the private archives, the staterooms, the rooms where the real history is kept. The idea was to film Camilla's own family hosting inside those spaces, to place them shoulder to shoulder with the sovereign story, to fix them permanently into the picture. It was a bid for legacy, built out of television cameras and signed access agreements. And it rested on one assumption, that having the king's devotion was the same thing as having the institution's power. It isn't, and that's the line she missed. The day-to-day machinery of the monarchy doesn't run on a husband's affection. It runs on property, protocol. He didn't shout or leak or fight in public. He simply ordered the paperwork reviewed. Princess Anne, the family's most exacting keeper of how things are done, stood with him. Between them, they read every contract and every access request. And when the requests reached the gate, the answer was a quiet, immovable no. The filming was denied. The crews were turned away on the pavement, and the phone call demanding it all be reversed, the one placed to the king himself, went unanswered. He chose the institution over the spectacle. I'll be honest, that silence is the part that stays with me. A man who shielded his wife through 30 years of storms simply declined to cross the one line that would have set him against his own heir. Power in this family, it turns out, was never about who could fill a room with cameras. It was about who held the deed to the ground those cameras stood on. Now look at the contrast, because this is where the story really belongs to Catherine. While one woman was trying to manufacture a legacy on film, Catherine spent the same stretch doing the opposite of manufacturing anything. She went through one of the hardest years imaginable. Illness, recovery, the whole world watching. And she met it with a stillness that asked for nothing and explained nothing. No documentary to validate her family. No campaign to push her own relatives up the ladder ahead of born royals. She understood from the beginning what the other never did, that in this house, the surest way to rise is to serve the institution rather than to use it. Quiet discipline against loud ambition, and quiet discipline won without ever raising its voice. And the reward for that restraint is now showing in ways the palace would never announce, but everyone inside can feel. The same boundaries that close those gates also, almost as a side effect, settle Catherine more firmly at the center of everything. Courtiers, security, the people who manage the great rooms. They increasingly orient around the Prince and Princess of Wales as the true heart of the household. The role of the woman who represents the monarchy at its highest, most dignified level didn't disappear when Camilla was turned away. It simply passed, without ceremony, to the person who had been quietly earning it all along. Catherine didn't take it. She was the one left standing where it landed. So here's what I keep turning over. Somewhere there is a stack of denied permission slips and a documentary that will likely never air. And every time Catherine walks through a door that stays open for her, it's a door that just closed for someone else. Is this the institution rewarding genuine, quiet strength? Or is it simply ruthless palace power dressed up in good manners? I lean one way, but I want to hear where you land, so tell me in the comments. And if watching Catherine rise the slow, dignified way means something to you, come stand with the people here who've been rooting for her all along.